Tonight we've got some huge news coming out of St. Lucie County, Florida. This is the crash that happened on August 12th. We saw it. We'd had some early reporting where we said, look, these guys are from California. That's your first red flag. And that's because American Truckers United has identified California as a labor dumping state. Illegal aliens are being dumped into California. They're being issued CDLs, and they're driving all across this country. They're operating in every one state. So as soon as we saw that they were from California, we immediately knew that they were a part of this new ecosystem of truck drivers that are absolutely destroying the entire American trucking industry. If Americans do not want their families driving next to truck drivers like this, it's imperative that you speak up now to all of our leadership, to our legislators and our state agencies, to say that we do not need non-domiciled CDLs. We don't want foreign CDLs operating on the highways next to our families. These drivers in California, it's now reported that state troopers obtained a criminal arrest warrant for the driver for 3 counts of vehicular homicide. Thank you, Florida. This is after Florida signed a 287 agreement with ICE. Every state, every county, every local municipality needs to be entering into a 287 agreement with ICE. Did you know that your state police and your local law enforcement cannot check the immigration status of people unless they have been trained by ICE? None of our law enforcement agencies can ask about immigration. And so Florida has already entered into that agreement, so they were able to do that, and they quickly found that this guy was an illegal alien, that he'd come into the country illegally, and now he's been charged with vehicular homicide, and he's also on a detainer and will be deported. It says that state troopers determined that Harjinder Singh entered the United States illegally, having crossed the Mexico border in 2018. The defendant then obtained a CDL in the state of California. This is huge news. At American Truckers United, we've been investigating these non-domiciled CDLs all across the country. We have reported that about 10 states are issuing these prolifically, and California is probably the worst offender in all of this. At the same time, we've been unable to find any non-domiciled CDLs, although we're seeing shipping documents, we're seeing inspections, naming conventions from all over the world, everywhere but from the United States. And so it was our suspicion that California wasn't even giving these illegal aliens non-domiciled CDLs, but were in fact issuing regular CDLs. Now, according to this statement, it says the defendant then obtained a commercial driver's license in the state of California. We suspect that that is a regular commercial driver's license. And so this is huge. This is the first real arrest that we've had from a truck driver in an accident under the 287 program. And so they go on to say that the actions taken by the defendant while operating a commercial tractor trailer are both shocking and criminal, said Executive Director Dave Kerner. 3 people lost their lives as a result of his recklessness, and countless friends and family members will experience the pain of this loss forever. Harjinder Singh is in custody on state vehicular homicide charges and immigration violations. He will no longer be able to damage and destroy the lives of Floridians and visitors. At the conclusion of his state charges, he will be deported. The Florida Highway Patrol remains committed to enforcing both state and federal law to ensure that people that are a danger to others face justice behind bars. Thank you for getting Harjinder Singh off the road, but there are hundreds of thousands of these drivers out here driving next to our families. We don't need to tolerate this anymore. We need to put a stop to this immediately. We need everyone to raise your voices, to call upon the Department of Transportation, to call upon ICE, to call upon the Department of Labor, to call upon the Department of Homeland Security, to get involved and protect our great American trucking industry. We just had a company, Carol Fulmer, go out of business the other day, been in business for 70 years. Our great American trucking companies right now are bleeding out because they're having to compete with these third world countries who are bringing people in here and exploiting them. Look, these guys are being exploited. They're living out of these trucks. They're violating the hours of service. They're running day and night. And so of course they're exhausted. So they're running into stalled traffic. they're not trained, and so they're trying to do a U-turn in the middle of the interstate. It's unacceptable, and there's no reason for us to tolerate it. We need to immediately ban these non-domiciles, ban these foreign CDLs, and let's start training American truck drivers again. Okay, let's start training Americans to have these jobs, and let's pay American truck drivers a fair wage for being gone away from their families for 2 weeks at a time and 1 week at a time, and not treat them like slaves. And so I've been doing this for 25 years. I don't remember every couple of weeks there being a mass casualty trucking accident by non-citizens. So, Florida, thank you for arresting these people. Thank you for entering into a 287 agreement with ICE. And Secretary Duffy, make America great again. We know you are a patriot. We know you love this country. We know our president is a patriot who loves this country dearly. And I believe that once y'all understand this situation clearly, that it will be a quick decision to ban these licenses.
Right outside of this one church town, there's a gold dirt road to a whole lot of nothing. Got a deed to the land, but it ain't my ground. This is God's country. We pray for rain and thank him when it's falling, 'cause it brings a grain and a little bit of money. We put it back in a plate, I guess that's why they call it God's country. I saw the light in a sunrise, sitting back in a 40 on the muddy riverside, getting baptized in holy water and shine with the dogs running. Saved by the sound of a pin-found Dixie whistle in the wind that'll get you heaven bound. The devil went down to Georgia, but he didn't stick around. This is God's country. We turn the dirt and work until the week's done. We take a break and break bread on Sunday, then do it all again, 'cause we're proud to be from God's country. I saw the light in a sunrise, sitting back in a 40 on the muddy riverside, getting baptized in holy water and shine with the dogs running. Saved by the sound of a pin-found Dixie whistle in the wind that'll get you heaven bound. The devil went down to Georgia, but he didn't stick around. This is God's country. God's country. I don't care what my headstone reads or what kind of pine wood box I end up in. When it's my time, lay me 6 feet deep in God's country. I